Good day, my name is Linda, and I'm Industrial Project 4 student. My project is about traffic congestion monitoring. So we're gonna go through the overview of the whole project, the design methodology, the complete project, as well as the data that was collected. So the traffic congestion monitoring system has got two power supplies, that is two 9-volt batteries. One 9-volt battery is powering the Arduino, the other 9-volt battery is powering the SIM808. And the reason for this is because the SIM808 startup current is very high. During the testing phase, it measured about 800 milliamps, of which that is too much for the Arduino Mega to handle. Hence now there's different power supplies. Connected to the differential pressure sensor is a rubber tube with a 5 millimeter in diameter and a length of 3.5 meters. The rubber tube is connected to the high pressure side of the sensor, and the low pressure side of the sensor is vented to atmosphere. So when the first exit of the vehicle passes over the tube, a differential pressure is measured, and then that results in delta P being measured, and then that signal is detected by the Arduino. The Arduino will then convert that analog signal into a digital output signal, and then that will count as state 1, and then that count is displayed on the LCD display, and then this is the I2C LCD display 16 by 2. So connected to the Arduino Mega is a micro SD card. So while the Arduino Mega is counting, the data is automatically saved on the micro SD card with timestamp, that is date and time. And then the SIM808, there's a duplex communication between the SIM808 and the Arduino. The Arduino will send 80 commands to the SIM808 to check if the SIM808 is healthy, request the IP address, and then the SIM808 will then send back the commands to the Arduino Mega, telling that to the Arduino Mega that it's okay, giving the Arduino Mega the IP address, as well as the website address that is going to upload the data to. Then the SIM808 will then upload the data to ThinkSpeak. So here we've got the complete traffic congestion monitoring device, and this is the traffic monitoring data that was collected, as well as the data that will be displayed on ThinkSpeak will look like this. We've got the current count, and then that's the number of cars, and then we've got the average speed, and then that is the average speed. So with the average speed, we will be able to pick up how the traffic flow is, whether we've got a free-flowing traffic or we've got a traffic congestion. So moving over to the flow chart. So first of all, the variables will be declared, and then the Arduino Mega will check or initialize the micro SD card. So if the micro SD card is not initialized, or there's no micro SD card, that will display that the SD card has failed. And then if the micro SD card, there is a micro SD card, and then it's healthy, and then it will go to the RTC. The RTC will be initialized. If it's not initialized, and then the Arduino will display on the LCD that the RTC was not couldn't be found. And then if that is true, if the RTC is initialized, and then that will get the current time and date. And then if the sensor value, that is the sensor value compared to the trigger value, so if that sensor value is greater than the to the trigger value, and then the sensor value will be equals to 1. And then if it's not, the system will do nothing. So if this is true, and then the system will print the first exile, and then if the sensor value is 0, and then it will print the second exile. So if it's false, and then the system will print the speed is not measurable. And then so if that is true, it will print the second exile, as well as the count and the average speed. And then we've got a manual intervention where you will press the data upload button. So if the data upload button is activated, and that will enable the SIM808 to upload the data on ThinkSpeak, and then if it's not, and then the system will continue as normal. Okay, moving over to the operation of the circuit. So now I'm going to demonstrate triggering of the first exile. The first exile is triggered, and then the second exile will be initiated, and then you should get a count. So that is the first exile, that's the second exile. And also, if you notice an LED when the second exile passes over the rubber cube, an LED will lit. So we can demonstrate that once again. First exile, okay, that's the second exile. First exile, second exile. So we can just demonstrate that with a couple of trials. Okay, as you can see on the LCD will print the pressure exerted on the cube. It will also print the average speed of the vehicle that passed the cube and the number of count. And then if I press the upload button, the Arduino will talk to the SIM808 via AT commands, and then you will see the LED LED will start flashing more rapidly. Okay, the SIM808 is initializing, checking the IP address, checking the data where it needs to upload the data to, as well as now eventually uploading the data onto the web server, and that is ThinkSpeak. So once that is done, a display on the LCD will display a data upload complete, and then once that is done, and then we will see the data on ThinkSpeak. Okay, data upload is complete, and then okay, there's our data. We've got the current count, and then we have the average speed, current count of 23 cars, and then the average speed at 22.8 kilometers per hour. We can confirm that with the micro SD card. Take off the micro SD card. Okay, we'll have to go through for today's data. Scroll down. Okay, as we can see that this is today's date with the time. So the current count will have its own timestamp, and the average speed as well will have its own timestamp. So and that is how the system works.